Black Hammer, The Age of Doom, Part 2 is the sequel to the sort of mini-series, I guess, sequel of the first series. So Black Hammer Volume 1 and 2 is about a group of superheroes that are stranded on this mysterious farm and they can't leave. So Black Hammer, The Age of Doom, Part 1 sort of tells us a twist of sorts. I don't want to get into it in case, you know, it's a pretty big jaw-dropping narrative. But this is the sequel to that, and it's the finished story. And I have to say this book was really disappointing. I'm trying to be as kind as possible, but I'm not going to hold back. This book really sucked. Essentially, we start with a short story about Colonel Randall Weird sort of navigating, you know, being lost, and then he finds himself trying to find the rest of the team. The rest of the team has their mind wiped, and they're living in a sort of rebooted world. So it's up to Talkie Walkie to sort of find the rest of the heroes, and they do. but it's done really quickly and rushed. I mean, like literally, they find all the members within a couple of pages, and there are some cool moments. I really liked Barbalian's sort of new reality on Mars. He never went to Earth, and instead he decided to fight everyone on Mars. That was pretty cool. That was like the only cool moment of this story. And then the story's horrifically rushed, and honestly there are parts of this book that just feel like it's pulling stuff out of its ass, especially the ending, you know. They find out an old enemy has returned, they have to band together to fight, and then this one character is like, I can't do the same thing I did before. Oh, but I can. And then they do. And then the book goes in a big circle, and it has pretty much of a non-ending. It reminded me of the ending of Brian K. Vaughan's Paper Girls. It's almost like the story kind of reached this sort of apex where it's like, I don't know where to go next, so everything goes back to the way it was. And it was a pretty weak ending overall, because this feels like an ending, but if you go to Wikipedia, you can find all the different miniseries based off Black Hammer. There's Black Hammer, the first 2 volumes, and there's the Black Hammer, The Age of Doom, which is what I'm reading now. Then there's like Sherlock Frankenstein spinoff, there's spinoffs of different characters, there's like a short story collection, and there's a crossover with the Justice League. They're trying to like make this whole thing a thing, but they're running out of story. They don't really have anywhere to go. I felt this book was really reaching. It was really disappointing. They want to continue the story next year with another reboot of sorts called Black Hammer Reborn, but I don't like the way they sort of took the characters. The first 2 volumes sort of set up the farm. The third one has this jaw-dropping twist, and then now we're back in this other reality, and then it feels like they keep hopping back to realities, and it's not really doing anything for the characters. There's no conflict. There's not much of a villain. This book was incredibly rushed. It's like watching Avengers Endgame, and that middle section is like 10 minutes long, and they just get the Infinity Stones within 10 minutes, and then they have to go fight Thanos. It would just seem kind of like rushed. This book was really rushed. Didn't like any part except for Barbalian's alternate reality. So other than that, yeah, I'm gonna drop Black Hammer. It's been 4 volumes. This kind of feels like an ending. They're going to keep going, but I don't want to check out the spin-offs or anything. I didn't like this ending at all. So those are my thoughts on Black Hammer Volume 3 and 4, The Age of Doom.